Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Today we are going to look at some of the examples of Punjabi words where we use a Sehari. We have discussed this matra, that what Sehari is and what is going to be its sound, where to put that. So all these things we have already discussed. If you have not watched that video, I would suggest you to go there and watch that first and then come here to look at some of the examples that we are going to discuss today. So the first word that we are going to look at is sir. Sir. Okay. I am having my sassa. Sassa is going to give the sound of sa. I have put Sehari. This becomes se and then rara. Rara is going to give the sound of r. So this becomes sir. Sir is a body part, you can say. So any guesses what sir could be? This is a very common word in the Punjabi language, and there are so many different verses that we use by using this word. So sir here means head. This is our first word, sir. Sassa, Sehari, se, and then rara, ra, sir. Sir means head. Second word is chair. Chair. Let's look at that. This is my chacha. Chacha is going to give the sound of cha. I have put a Sehari here. This becomes che and then rara. Rara is going to give the sound of r. So this rara, right, it is a very frequent letter that we use in our everyday life. Its equivalent in English is r. Just remember that. So rara here and rara here again. So rara is going to give the sound of r. Che plus r, chir. Chir is a very typical Punjabi word. I mean, like we said earlier also, the Thet Punjabi words, right? The words that only the Punjabi speakers use. Chir is one of those words. Chir means a long time, you can say. It can mean time also, a long time also. The other word for time is sama, but we very rarely use that. I mean, most of the times we will be using chir for time. Like we say, kinna chir lata tu, right? Yeah, kinne chair to main udeekda pya. So these are some of the verses that we use in our everyday life, and this word is very important. Chir. Third one is hiran. This is a three-letter word. Of course, one Sehari also. He, ra, na. I'm going to have haha. Haha is going to give the sound of ha. I put Sehari here. This becomes he. And then rara. Rara is going to give the sound of ra. And then nanna. Nanna is going to give the sound of na. So these are all the basic things. I truly believe that we now know the different sounds of the Gurmukhi letters, because if we do not know, then it will be very tough to understand the matras and how they change the sounds. And of course, then the sentences that we are going to look at in future. So these are the basic blocks of the Punjabi language, you can say. And we have to know the different sounds of the Gurmukhi letters. So this is he, this is ra, this is na. Nanna is going to give the sound of na. So this becomes hiran. Aha is going to like this somewhat, yeah. So hiran means deer. The fourth one is Misr. Misr is a country. Let's write it down. This is my mama. Mama is going to give the sound of ma. I have put a Sehari. This becomes me. And then Sassa. Sassa is going to give the sound of sa. And then Rara. Rara is going to give the sound of r. So in all the four words, we can see Rara written everywhere. Here we have Rara, 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 right? So it is very important to remember the Gurmukhi letters like we discussed earlier also and their sounds. So this becomes me, sa, ra, misar. Any thoughts what misar can be? Any thoughts? Because this is the word that I heard very long back. I mean, when I was very young, I used this word and I was not aware of what this is in the English language because some of the times the words that we use in our language, right, they will be same as the words which are there in other languages, but their names will be different. So Misr is actually a country which is Egypt. This is one of the things that we are going to discuss in future when we have mastered the different matras and some of the complex Punjabi words. That is that some of the names of the countries are different in the Punjabi language. Actually, Misr is, I think, an Arabic name. Okay. In a similar way for America, right? For Canada, for China, for Russia, we have different words in the Punjabi language. We will discuss them at the later period of this series. Okay, the fifth one is Ishq. Ishq. Ed. Ed is going to give the sound of no sound. Remember this. Uda, right? And then ed. They do not give us any sound unless we attach a matra. So it is not going to give us any sound. I am going to put Sehari here. And this becomes a. And then Shasha. Shasha is going to give the sound of sh. And then Kakka. Kakka is going to give the sound of ka. So it is a, sh, ka. Ishak. So let's write it down. Ishq means love. Pyar and prem are other words also, but in Punjabi language we usually don't use them that much. So ishq is the word that we use basically, and it is again an Arabic word, I guess. Like I said, in the Punjabi language, some of the words are from the Arabic language. Sixth one is chid. Chid. Chacha. Chacha is going to give the sound of ch. I have put Sehari here. This becomes chi. And then rada. Rada is going to give the sound of r. So this becomes chi, r, chid. Okay. Chid means annoy. You are very frustrated and annoyed, right? So chid word is used there. Okay, the seventh word that we are going to look at is tik. Tanka. Tanka is going to give the sound of t. I have put Sehari here. This becomes te. And then kakka. Kakka is going to give the sound of k. So this becomes tik. Tik means stay. Its pronunciation is like simple, like we have tick in English. Okay. So you settled somewhere or you stayed somewhere, right? For that we say tick. The other meaning is like don't do some sort of stupid things, you can say, like we say in Punjabi, tu tikda niga, right? There are different meanings of the same word like in any other language, so it all depends on the context. Based on the context, the words can change the meanings. One important thing that I would like to highlight here is this word and this word. This is the second one is chir, okay, and sixth one is chid. The first letter and the matra is same, the difference is the second letter. And trust me, in the beginning you are going to mix rara and rada. Why? Because rada does not exist in the English language. So some of the letters which are not there in the English language, it will be a little tough to adopt them. For example, we have rada, we have nana, right? We have kagga, we have nganga, we have chajja, we have tadda. So these are the letters which are a little tough to master, but with practice and with time you will learn these letters. One of the other letters that I want to discuss is kakka and khakha. This is my kakka and this is my khakha. Most of the time I heard the English speakers who have adopted Sikhi recently saying Sikhi. They will use this letter instead of this letter while pronouncing it. Why? Because khakha does not exist in the English language. If you want to have khakha in English, you have to use two letters, K and H. So instead of using this letter, they will use this letter. Instead of saying Sikhi, they will say Sikhi. Right? So these sort of things we are going to discuss later. I mean, when we have mastered all the matras and everything, we will discuss the mistakes that the English speakers usually make when they're learning the Punjabi language. Anyways, coming back to our seventh word, which is tick. Tick means stay. It also means to not do some sort of stupid things also, you can say. The eighth word that we are going to look at is din. Dadda. Dadda is going to give the sound of the. I have put Sehari here. This becomes de and then nanna. Nanna is going to give the sound of na. De, na, din. Din means day. Easy, right? The ninth word that we are going to look at is fair. Fair. Paffa. Paffa is going to give the sound of fa. I have put Sehari here. This becomes pe and then rara. Rara again, guys. Rara again. So you have to remember rara. Rara is going to give the sound of r. Fe, r. Fair. Fair means then. The last word that we are going to look at today is mirach. Three-letter word, me, ra, ch. And of course, rara is there. We have mama. Mama is going to give the sound of ma. I have put Sehari here. This becomes me. And then I have rara. Rara is going to give the sound of ra. And then ch. Chacha is going to give the sound of ch. Sorry, I said it in reverse. So this is chacha. Chacha is going to give the sound of ch. Mirach. Mirach. And trust me, you are not going to hear this word from the native Punjabi speakers. The reason being, we don't say mirch, we say merch, right? So there is a little difference when we write the words and when we say the words. Like you can say it is kind of a dialect thing, right? So these things again we are going to discuss later. So mirch means chili. Let me try it here. Chili is something that you put in the food to make it spicy, right? So mirch means chili. So these are the words for today. 10 words we discussed. Let's revise them once again. The first one is sir. Sir means head. Chir. Chir means time. Hiran. Hiran means deer. Misr. Misr is a country. Egypt. Ishq. Ishq means love. Chid means annoy. Tik means stay. Din means day. Fir. Fir means then. And last is mirach. Mirch means mirch means chili. So that's all for today. If you have any questions related to this, please let me know in the comment section below. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.